The most popular Chromebook on Amazon is a 2-in-1 from Lenovo called the Flex 3. It's a white chassis with a gray keyboard and the screen has black bezels. Honestly, I think it looks really good and I don't usually like non-black laptops, but I think this one is pretty sleek. Even though the screen is only 11.6 inches diagonally, the chassis is a little bit bigger, so the keyboard doesn't feel squished or cramped, which is nice. It also leaves some room for a decently sized trackpad as well. The screen is only a 720p panel, but at this size, it's not that bad. It's not the sharpest, but it's an IPS panel, so the colors look good and the viewing angles are great. As far as ports and inputs go, on the left side we have a USB-C port for power and data, a full-size HDMI port, a USB-A port, and a full-size SD card slot. And on the right side we have a Kensington lock port, the power and volume buttons, and then a headphone and microphone jack. As far as specs go for this machine, it has 4GB of RAM and 64GB of eMMC storage, and it's running on a MediaTek processor. Most of these Chromebooks run on a MediaTek MT8173C or an Intel Celeron N4020 or an N3350. All are low power, and in my experience, I haven't noticed much of a difference in performance. But I do have a Chromebook with an Intel N3350, so I ran some Geekbench tests. The highest I could get the Intel processor to go was 270 for single-core performance and 525 for multi-core performance, whereas the MediaTek processor score was 334 on single-core and 670 on multi-core. But when you're buying a Chromebook, it's probably not for the processing power, which makes the feel of the computer pretty important. And here are my thoughts on that. The trackpad is smooth, and like I mentioned before, it has more surface space than other laptops of this caliber and size, and I would say it's probably the best that I've seen or used on a Chromebook, but I'm not 100% sure on that. The keyboard is also more spacious than other Chromebooks that I've used, which makes it easier to use. However, I did feel like the keys required slightly more actuation force than most other keyboards of this kind of laptop, and the key travel was great, so that is a plus. All in all, I would say that this is probably the best built Chromebook that I've seen or felt, and I would hope so because it is also one of the more expensive ones on Amazon. On Amazon, this goes for around $210, which is still pretty cheap, but you can get plenty of others out there for around $170. So there is a slight premium with purchasing this machine. Either way, it's still rather affordable and it ran smoothly, so I'm pretty happy with it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching.